and welcome back to the latest episode, guys. I say latest episode. Been through a lot of changes here last week. The channel, I've lost a co-host, changed the name of the channel, but on to better things. As say, got a not bad for my first actual podcast episode where you actually get to see my face. Look whose face also gets to grace us.
You're so lucky to see this face, honestly.
What can I say? It's not, the audio goes out. I'm not blessed with the most beautiful voice of all time.
Me neither. But there we go.
And then I thought, you know what? Let's make this a visual thing. And then
you got this. It's amazing.
Exactly. No, but Lars, thanks for doing this, mate. It's absolute pleasure to be graced with your presence. As say, it's strange because the main thing about starting off on YouTube is building a platform. Good content doesn't necessarily mean anyone is going to watch. Collaborations are massive. I never envisaged my first podcast being with someone I enjoy watching. I thought I'd have to kind of bite the bullet and but no, honestly, mate, being really sincere when I say that. I love watching your videos.
I appreciate it.
No, I came across you accidentally. I hope you don't mind me saying, many people probably did across Jack, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though that's the reason they came, like me, your content's the reason they stick around, I hope.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm glad I can make decent content that keeps people coming back.
How did you start YouTube? What made you want to start YouTube?
I started YouTube with Jordan, as many people probably know. I was on the Doody Rhino channel, that's now Doody, for several years, and that's how I became just like antiquated with the YouTube world. And then several years down the line, I thought I'll give it a go myself and just see where it goes. So that's basically it.
Was it literally just you watching him do it and thinking, I can do that?
There was for several, I'd probably say like a year and a half, 2 years, I wouldn't get in front of the camera because I just didn't know what to do. I was just like awful. I just like freeze up all the time.
Yeah.
But after watching Jordan basically grow so much as a creator, like being next to him for several years, I thought, well, I kind of want to give it a go. So I started to become more prevalent in the videos on that channel, and then to the point where it was basically every single video it was me and Jordan in the same video. So then I just thought, well, I like music, I like comedy, I'll try and smash them together and do my own channel.
Right, it's gone well for you so far, and I'm sure it'll only get better. But
hopefully so.
I don't know about you. What's your biggest problem with, because I started as say that I'm a baby in this world. I've got the most minuscule channel you could ever imagine right now. Trying to grow it, as say, good content doesn't mean anything, but it always helps, of course. That doesn't mean just put shit out and just hope that. But the one thing that I struggle with, to talk, to do videos, I'm okay with that. That's cool. It takes a bit of confidence building, but fucking editing, oh my god.
That is something I find that you just have to struggle through, I guess. If you don't know anything about editing, I didn't when I started editing. I was lucky enough to have Jordan there watching him editing the videos, and I was kind of picking up things here and there. But when I first started editing, it was just literally cut, paste, no effects, no sound, like sound control. Just left as it was. But over time, you start to realize things. You try and make your videos better by putting in different clips and sorting out the audio levels and that sort of stuff. So I think if it's something that you're doing purely as you're just going into it and you're just going head on, you don't know really what you're doing, I think you kind of grasp. You know, some people say, oh, this is too loud, or that you should have done that sort of cut here and there. It depends, but I think, you know, if you dive head first into it and you love it and you really enjoy it, I think most of the time you'll come out having some decent knowledge of or understanding of editing by the end of it.
With I started off because I was sleep podcasting. The first thing that we started doing, well, I was doing the editing for it, and audio, I was
Yeah.
fine, and not fine, but you gradually learn. But with the video, I edited my first video yesterday. My first actual video as a YouTuber, not podcaster, I went out today. God, I actually went out filming yesterday for my first video as a music video. I thought
Okay.
I thought I've got to do something special just to start. And I went out yesterday. I don't know how it was where you are, but it's absolutely torrential at one point yesterday.
Oh no.
We were by a lake as well, just for the scenery, because I want to put a bit of substance in my video. And she weren't too happy about absolutely pissing it down. And then she was so unhappy when I came back and I was editing it. I was like, I need to give up. I have to give up. It's driving me insane. I was honestly thinking, I can't do this. I can't do this. But I suppose it's trial and error. You just keep going. Half my footage I couldn't use.
But you will definitely find that. Like I've done videos where I've filmed for probably about an hour, and I've ended up using about 20 minutes of footage, and the rest of it's just trash. So, but that's just. I think you will just get better with that when you get more experience.
I hope so, and so does my missus, let me tell you that. But she ain't coming on no more music videos, I can tell you that, mate, just in case the weather. If it does, I'm definitely checking the forecast. In terms of YouTube, how do you kind of have a boundary? Do you have an idea of where you want to take it and kind of what you want to do?
I don't really have like any like plan or guide to where I want to get to. Obviously, I want to be able to make it some sort of career, which would be great. But I don't have like a pathway. Like I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this sort of content, and I'm going to get really up and on popular topics and make all the videos on them. I think I'll just make the content I want to make and do the things that I want to do and entertain people. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. There'll be some room there to like cater to audiences, I guess. But I don't want to just become like a channel that caters to every single audience possible, because I think at the end of the day, you're just chasing like a false dream there.
You see so many people put out so much content and you think you can't be enjoying this, you can't be enjoying these videos. So it's about, I suppose, trying to find that kind of balance between doing something you enjoy. And I get why some people at that level would see it as a chore. Well, it's their job, isn't it? It's what they do. But it's tough to find that balance, I'm going to guess, at that level. Create content that you love, because what you love isn't going to be what your million viewers love at that point.
That's true.
If my dream is, if I'm still creating content that I like listening to, because there's so many, when I'm editing, if I listen to audio, I think this is shit. I have to clip so much of that. Just because, believe me, if I'm not going to want to listen to it, it doesn't matter how good. I'm not putting it out there. I'm really not putting it out. Hopefully, I'll still have the same mantra if my channel grows.
Yeah.
But no, some good news that I did find out from on the back of speaking to you was yours and Duty's podcast. I was happy to find that out.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that we have been I wouldn't say we're actively discussing to make for a long time, but it's something that we've always talked about eventually doing at some point. And the stars aligned, everything fell into the right place, and that's something we're going to be setting up. So we're obviously massively excited for it, because it's something we've both wanted to do for a long time. And we've got really good backing from Hobo Jack, who are going to be doing it with us. So it's a great brand to have with you, and they've been nothing short of amazing so far. So we're just waiting now to be able to start filming and start getting the podcast out.
Is that the near future? How long are we talking?
A very near future, I'll probably say within the next month to 2 months, we'll be able to start actually filming and creating podcasts. We've also got like a line of clothing to go with the podcast.
Hook me up with a t-shirt, please.
Absolutely no problem. Yeah, I could do that.
No, but I know you mentioned you kind of grew up in the YouTube world watching Jordan. How are you a fan of his content? Because I honestly, it's easy enough saying this while I'm speaking to you. There is not many YouTubers that I love watching their video. I actually get excited when I see he's dropped a new video.
Yeah. To be honest, he could probably make a video about anything, and it'd make it at the very least semi-entertaining. It's just the way he talks about the content of the actual video itself that I think a lot of people engage with. He's just really good at presenting. He's a very confident and very keen presenter. He's very confident in telling jokes. He's very confident in getting the right sort of tone for a video, which I think is very important, especially with some of the like most recent videos he's done about like the Nazi experiments and all that sort of stuff, and the controversies and the conspiracies. Because some of them you do have to have like a light touch with, but he always strikes the right balance, and he doesn't really put a foot wrong, to be honest.
I would say from the outside, he's one of my prime examples of someone whose channel is definitely growing. He's getting bigger and bigger, and his content is still in the nicest possible way. His content's not changing. It's new episodes, but you can tell it's something that he enjoys doing. He loves talking about.
Yeah, he's a far better, in my opinion, YouTuber than both of us were when we were doing music festival content, which was like a couple of years ago now. It's just the difference between the videos is almost night and day. Although a lot of people still love and enjoy the music festival stuff, I think when you compare the two together, the quality is better, and I think you could argue that the audience is wider for the sort of
bit more niche, isn't it?
Sort of videos that he does. Yeah.
I think, did it take, because again, dude, exactly the same as you. Happy Hour podcast, my favourite podcast out there. You can forget Joe Rogan, you can forget True Geordie as much sometimes. Happy Hour podcast it's hilarious. So when I came across Duty on that, and that I actually came across his channel, it was. Did it take? I know, because I wasn't a fan of him before that, because that's how I came across him.
Yeah.
Is that how he found his niche, do you think? Because their best episodes are the ones. Did it take that to? Because I didn't see too much of his content before then, because I found it on the back of that. Do you think it took something like that for?
I think there's probably a element of that at the very least. I mean, he's always been interested in like conspiracies, not to the point where he's like wearing a tinfoil hat and going down the street preaching to everyone, but he's definitely always had that interest ever since I've known him. So I think like those two combined really helped him develop the kind of niche, if you want to say it, for that sort of content. But I think definitely the response to the conspiracy episodes and the urban legends and that sort of stuff on Happy Hour probably boosted his timescale of making of that content. So I'll probably agree with you.
Okay, so one thing I wanted to touch upon with you when I was speaking to you, and this was coincidental timing. I found it on the back of just a thread. I came across your episode. If you don't want to talk about this, I'm absolutely fine with that, but it's relevant to what I did about a week ago. I'll elaborate on that in a moment. Your mental health episode. I don't think I've come across a YouTube episode ever where someone's been so open but so honest at the same time. And that goes back to what you said about creating content that you like and not pandering to an audience. Because as I say, you're forte, you're good, people seem to enjoy your video. You do music, that's what you do. So when you brought out that episode, I was a little shocked. I want you to say well done on the back of that. Firstly, that's not patronising in any way. I promise. It's
No, I
because
appreciate that.
you look at YouTube as this. Well, YouTubers these days are celebrities, and it's the most egotistical place you've ever seen. You have YouTubers that have characters that I'm sure are completely different people. So when you get something so honest and pure, it's rare.
Yeah.
So, and they say about a week ago, I filmed a podcast with what was my co-host at the time, and we were speaking the episode literally, we didn't have anything we are going to talk about. It was literally a case of, we've got an evening, let's see what we can come up with. Often they turn out to be best podcast episodes. I was on a bad day at the time. I've got my history of mental health, etc. This episode honestly turned into biggest just me ranting and most depressing thing I've ever said. But it was a relief. It was pure. I wanted to put it out there because I even said in the video, if me putting this video out there helps one person feel a little better, realize that there's then this episode isn't in vain. I'll take the embarrassment on the back of it. I'll take the stories on the back of me putting myself out there. As long as it helps someone. I didn't put it out there because I thought it's not the right way to do it. It literally turned into my rant. I watched your video literally a couple of days after I'd filmed that. You, let me tell you now, you nailed how to do it. You literally, you hit that perfect. And I just want to say well done on the back of that. And
thank you.
It was a real eye-opener because I know you probably don't see this, but because you essentially, to me, I've got a tiny channel. I mentioned it in my music video, double digits. So my channel is minuscule. So to someone like you, getting up to a barrier of 2,000, it's a big deal, even though obviously there's still a big difference between you and growing into the channel in terms of size. I'm sure you'd like to go to. So in terms of our channels in size, there's not too much of a golfing class in terms of where the hierarchy really are. So when I watched that, you were so honest in it. You were so open about it. Were you nervous about doing a video like that?
Oh, absolutely. I was dreading it. Honestly, I dreaded it. I dreaded editing it. It was probably the worst part. It was horrible because although I'm not out of the woods yet, I'm feel like I'm coming out of a bad period of mental health, but I'm still not completely clear. It was just watching the complete, I don't know, lack of fight or there was just nothing there in a lot of that's another video that I filmed probably for about an hour and I only used 16, 17 minutes of footage. Because a lot of it was just me rambling, and like you say in your video or your podcast, you were just ranting, and it did turn into parts of that were just me ranting about stuff for minutes on end that were added nothing to the video, and really I didn't think would help anyone because it's just me having a go at the same situation over and over and over again. But I think the biggest thing for me was just to do it and finish it and put it out and see, what the reaction was. Fortunately, the reaction was brilliant. Everyone has been supportive, which is great. But I thought other people would be in the same position as me, not entirely the same situation, but the same headspace because of obviously COVID-19 has hit everyone massively in a lot of countries, and especially the UK. So I thought there might be people in the similar sort of position headspace wise, and if this can help people to talk, because that was the main thing about the video, was if you just bottle it up and you don't talk to enough people or you don't get the support that you need, it just becomes so much worse. A lot of the time it becomes a longer period of time that you are in the wrong headspace, and generally you start to become almost isolated, even more so in well, if it's even possible to be even more isolated in the current circumstance. But the main message from the get-go was, if this gets someone to talk to someone, done. That's fine. I've achieved what I wanted to achieve.
Yeah.
Because I didn't, and that was the worst thing I could have done. I felt guilty about talking to my partner because she was, providing for the house that we were living in. So I didn't want to go and say, these are my problems. I know you're working like 40 plus hours a week in a job that you don't like, but these are my problems. That's how I saw it at the time. And I didn't speak to my family because they all have the same issues. They're working all week and they're in similar position. They can't go out when they want to go out. And I thought, I don't want to burden them with this. I really don't.
This is the problem. Almost everyone's going through the same thing, but no one says they're going through the same thing. So unless you don't say it, everyone knows that everyone's going through the same. It is the same thing. It isn't the same thing, because mental health, and I said this in my podcast, is the most selfish thing of all time. And I think anyone who's struggling will know that it's selfish. If you look at the world at an outside picture, in every continent there's people dying at the moment. You've got protests going on for people that have to live their lives in fear. Yeah. I don't have any of those problems, yet it's never stopped my mental health at times. Yeah. Bringing me to an all-time low. I shouldn't feel the way I do sometimes, and I'm sure it'd be the same for you. I'm a white guy living in the UK. In terms of analysis, I couldn't be much higher on the food chain. Yeah, I feel guilty. You should not feel guilty about feeling bad, and I think that's where it comes from. No one. We all say that, oh, it's okay to speak, but it's okay saying that and making someone feel that couldn't be any more different. Because in this world of YouTube, no one speaks, no one's honest. As you get higher and higher, people are more character. So let's say when your video is so pure, so honest, it was unusual. So did you get a positive reaction from that from other people?
Yeah, I got a lot of positive reaction from people, both sympathising with my position because they're in a similar position, but also other people just unhappy that I was unhappy myself, and what always support me and wanted me to be happy. But I think you're right about it. It's not really I don't think there's as much stigma behind it anymore, but it's something that people, I don't think, like to talk about wholeheartedly, because it's not a positive image for something. As if YouTube was just filled or full of people talking about their issues, stress, anxiety, and that sort of stuff, it isn't a very entertaining topic to talk about. So it's not in YouTube's interest to push that sort of that sort of video. So you get a lot of the time everything's positive. YouTube, do this amazing bubble challenge.
Look how great my life is. Look at stunts I do. Look at exactly.
Let's look at this TikTok compilation. Is that just that
sort of content? My next video actually. No, I know what I'm doing there. Thank you.
But that's fine. It's just you have to know that it doesn't reflect the true reality of what life is for a lot of people. I'm not saying YouTube should take it upon them to make sure they promote certain videos,
no, of course.
I think it's important for people to realise that it's not all positive. Not everything on the internet has to be positive, and definitely the internet is not always positive. So it does balance itself out.
How I see it is, everyone says it's okay to not be okay. That's the common use phrase until they're in that position, and then your mindset just goes out the window, and all logical thinking goes out the window, and and it's okay thinking that way, but until you feel that, that's when you realise that, oh, okay, this is what people are talking about. This is how I'm feeling. I'm feeling down today, and I shouldn't.
I'm totally guilty of that. I'm 100% guilty of that. I've talked about mental health in the past, both by myself and on Duty Rhino. I've done countless videos and supported countless videos where I've said you need to talk, you need to speak out, and then I just haven't done it myself. And I
Yeah.
I feel as though, on the one hand, I had good reason in my mind at the time, good reason not to talk because I didn't want to upset people that I love the most.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I'm sat there and going, you're probably one of the biggest hypocrites going.
Yes. In the
I just
nicest
wanted,
possible way, I agree.
yeah, yeah. So I made the video purely to just kind of, it's almost like a mentality you get into to just block everything out and not talk to anyone. But I just made the video to let people know that even if talking might not solve the problem, and in a lot of cases it doesn't.
It
Let's
really
be honest.
doesn't.
But it is a start. It's like a kind of gateway to trying to sort something, whether it be medication or therapy or something. It's a start, and that's it. And that's what I
Yeah.
want to try and provide.
I don't
Because,
think
like I
you
said,
do
I'm the
accept
biggest hypocrite
something
going.
until you say it out loud. I
Mm,
think you think it all the time, and you don't have a second opinion. The only second opinion you have is the echo in your head. Sometimes, whenever you think about it, you don't
yeah,
accept anything until you say it to someone else, and you realise that 9 times out of 10, don't get me wrong, there will be people out there have many problems that this when I was speaking about how fortunate we are, that isn't for everyone. Some people aren't so lucky. I get that.
mm,
Um, but what I would say is that a lot of cases are once you talk about things and you actually speak to someone else, you that acceptance, it's a relief. That feeling
yeah,
of being a burden, it's not there once you speak and you realise how ludicrous that thought actually is the moment you do speak. Was
yeah.
that a relief for you when you put that video out?
I think it was a relief for me to actually speak and film
Mm,
the video. But putting the video out, I was nervous because I've never done anything like that before. That's probably the first time I've ever recorded my frank, honest, and visceral views on myself
mhm.
and my situation. So I think at the time it was quite therapeutic to do as to film. But me putting the video out, I was nervous, a little bit nervous about how it'd be perceived. There's always going to be that. But also, I was nervous that it didn't come across how I wanted it to.
Yeah.
Although I felt like I got the message through in my mind, I thought I got the message through. I didn't want it to kind of me to put all that effort into it,
Yes.
and then the point of the video just doesn't land.
I'm saying, mate, from a viewer, from someone who's trying to put honest content out there, you fucking nailed it. You literally got perfect. I don't think that you could have put that full hour footage out there. It didn't make a difference. Could have been a 1 minute video. The moment people
Yeah.
saw how honest and pure that you were being, I think I'm gonna guess that's helped more people than you've actually got feedback from. If I'm being honest.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that, and I think a lot of people have kind of had the same thing to say about it, which is good, which means it was worthwhile
Yeah.
while me doing, which is always a positive.
I always say in those situations you need to have an escape. What do you use an escape? Is it YouTube?
I've got quite a few things to be fair. YouTube is definitely one of them. I
Mhm.
always enjoy making content for YouTube. It was only in that certain headspace that I was in at the time, the darkest places where I didn't enjoy creating content because I just thought everything I did was utter
Yeah.
shite. But I like playing. I like playing video games. I like playing music. Obviously, music's a big part of my life. So there are a lot of things for me personally that I can go to try and get some respite or some relief,
Mhm.
at least from certain issues and mental health and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd probably say music, video games, and YouTube are probably the three.
What video games do you play?
A wide range. So I love playing currently Warzone with a lot of the fans and Duty himself, and obviously a lot
Yeah.
of friends. I play. I'm a big fan of the Fallout franchise, so I play a lot of Fallout.
Mhm.
I play. I played probably about more than more than the amount of hours I'm prepared to say on Skyrim, just
Yeah.
for pure embarrassment, really. well over 100, 100 hours sunk into that game. But yeah, mostly RPGs, to be fair, like The Witcher and that sort of stuff. But when the occasional shooter comes along, like Warzone, Call of Duty, I'll pick it up and play it a bit. But Warzone's been the one because of the interaction with the fans and the subscribers has been great for that. Just playing with them and talking to them and actually becoming friends, it's kind of insane over a game where you shoot each other in the face, which is great.
Do you want to hear something really sad now? I have not, despite the game being out around, 4 months now, Warzone? 3-4 months, probably. This is going to sound so pathetic because I used to pride myself on being a gamer, not so much now since I've grown up. I've not got a Warzone win yet.
I went
a
long time without winning, and to be honest, the key is just getting people to play with you who are like so much better than you. Just carry you. That's what I do.
I watch some people and they're literally insane. That's what just annoys me so much because you're watching it so simple. Look, I'm watching this person. They're fantastic. I'm going to try and do what they do. I get on fucking.
A lot of it is just reactions to stuff. Like I would watch like Doctor Disrespect or Tim the Tapman, like all these famous streamers and all these like really good COD players. And they'll just do things that I didn't even fucking think about doing, and they do it just like that, and I'll be like, well, just where the fuck am I facing? Who's shooting me? And I'm dead.
I love watching those guys, but I just get more and more annoyed when I do because watching their videos is so entertaining, so fun. Then the moment I actually get myself into a game, that's it. But I'm going to guess, being so some of the games you listed, are you looking forward to the Assassin's Creed game, the Valhalla one?
That's a weird franchise for me. I think back in the day, Assassin's Creed 2 was probably like the height for me of the franchise. I loved that game. To be fair, the first one was really good as well. It really started to tail off like around Brotherhood, and then it went completely fucked up for about 2 years. And then the next one that I played quite a lot was Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which is obviously the pirate one. I don't know if you played that. That was probably one of the better ones recently. But I haven't played really anything of Assassin's Creed, but I am interested in the kind of like Viking or like the Nordic kind of vibe that Valhalla has. But the only problem with Ubisoft games is they're just such a grind to play. It's always go to this camp, liberate this war, like this village or something. It's the same carbon copy for Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, any other action like third person, first person action game they have with a big open world is exactly the same. I'm not saying it's bad because a lot of people like it, and it's at times it can be really fun.
Is it a good time to show you my Assassin's Creed tattoo? Hold on, I'm trying to get the angle. That's my Peaky Blinders, actually. I don't know if I can get it on here.
Oh yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
I'm gonna break my arm there, mate. Is that any?
Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah, so I was hoping that you wouldn't go in on the franchise too much, Jen, so that's okay.
To be fair, another one I liked was Assassin's Creed. It was a 3 where I can't remember the name of the character now, but you played as like an American Indian.
I share your opinion wholeheartedly. The games for me growing up were always good games. There were never anything special. And then I came back to playing probably about a year ago, 2 years ago, which is why I used to pride myself as a gamer. And I started playing, it's either Unity or Syndicate, and I fell in love with the franchise. And I was like, they've literally taken it to another level. It's insane. But definitely one of my favourites. You mentioned you're into like, well, I was going to say Nordic things, then it's a bit insulting, but Vikings, Nordic, whatever you are referred to it as. You a fan of those type of things?
I quite like different types of historic, like factions, I guess is probably the word I look for. But I like the idea or the kind of backstory and the history of like the Nordic kind of, and putting it into a game like Assassin's Creed, I think is a very smart move because I think they're kind of just searching now for every year to just find something new. I mean, they've done Egypt, they've done Greek. I don't know if they did. Was it Greek mythology, that
Yeah,
sort
it
of
was.
stuff?
Yeah.
They've done pirates. They've done obviously a lot of historical things around the Ezio timeline, that sort of stuff. So I think if it's just about the execution, that's the only thing. If they just do it and they make it the same as Odyssey, or they make it the same as the previous games and don't make it that much different, but what I've seen from it, like the music sounds great, from what I've heard, and the visuals like look kind of gloomy and dark, which I think is a good kind of representation of the kind of place where it's set, because I believe it's set in like parts of Britain.
Yeah.
So that kind of matches what I would imagine it would look like at the time, obviously.
There was all right, so as say your content, YouTube, music, put two together.
Yeah.
I've made a little game.
Okay.
See? It's me getting creative for the channel now for everyone watching you. Yeah, appreciate
New levels.
Exactly.
We are experiencing new levels of creativity.
You wouldn't say that if you saw my music video. All right. So this isn't an original concept.
Right.
So I've just fucking shot myself in the foot with the creativity. Take out that sentence, future Dan. Okay. It is. I'm going to read out lyrics of songs that may be from YouTubers, that may be from this warped mind. You never know. I want to say, do you listen to any YouTube musicians?
Not really.
I mean, I've heard. You can say it. You can say it.
I mean, I have listened to like a couple of KSI's songs. I've listened to, obviously, but I don't really listen to that sort of music. If a YouTuber makes a song, that kind of makes me disinterested from the start. But there's a few people I'd probably give a bit of sway to, but in all honesty, I'm not a massive YouTube scene music kind of guy. I don't really listen to a lot of YouTubers' music, but there we go.
I'm a KSI fanboy. Sorry, I can say that his music a few years ago was fucking dreadful, absolutely awful. Over the past year or so, he's taken it up to a new level. I suppose.
Okay,
working people like Rick Ross just way to do that for you. I suppose.
Yeah.
They said I wouldn't make it. Now my chicken's naked and my truck is lifted. Shout out to my ma and pops. Love you. I got piggy, oink. I got goat, nay. I'm not in. That's what I got the lyrics, and I'm not even sure if goats do nay, but apparently so. Is that a YouTuber?
Christ, I'll go YouTube with that one.
Well, technically you're right, because officially I'm a YouTuber, even though it's double digits. But no, you are incorrect. It's not. So it's from this warp's mind. See, maybe I should play poker.
Yeah, maybe you should. Maybe this half hour I haven't known you that well after all.
See, maybe you're not that good at reading. All right then. I ain't trying to tell anybody what to do, but this is how it smells when you're raised in a zoo. They teach you how to sell it, how to aim it, how to shoot.
I'll go for you again on that one.
You're wrong, see? I'm not capable of that. That's the great KSI. That's a shit song.
The great KSI. He's good at making videos. I'll give him that, but not a fan of the music.
Who were you a fan of growing up?
Growing up, I've had so many different like music tastes. I've like switched completely from where I was when I was in high school, probably like early high school. I listened to like 50 Cent. Who else? Like T-Pain. all these guys who I would never listen to now.
KSI then?
Not KSI. Although I did watch the shit out of his videos when I was at college, because obviously Heskey time never gets old. Those were the days for KSI for me.
Prime KSI.
Yeah. But yeah, I think my music taste changed when I really started to get interested in music and instruments and that sort of stuff, because like I said, I used to listen to like 50 Cent and blast it full, like as fucking loud as I could. But then I'd start to like Kings of Leon, Arctic Monkeys, a lot of indie stuff like the Falls.
I'm an indie fan, so that's okay.
Yeah. There's so many around that time. There were so many bands in that genre as well, like really like starting to spark up, which was good. But I like anything from like indie to metal. Really, I've got such a wide gamut of music I listen to.
This one, apologies for anyone who I don't want to. It's got bad language in. Apologies. I might be throwing you off. That might be me. Fuck me, I'm a celebrity. Can't take your eyes off me. I'll make you fuck me just to get somewhere. Yeah.
I mean, I hope that isn't an actual YouTuber's lyrics, because I
No,
really
I would
hope
never write anything like that. Oh, that is disgusting. You are awful at reading people.
I am.
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Definitely not. Once I say whose name it is, it'll make sense to you. It was Jeffree Star. And that is so scary that something like that can be written.
I didn't even know Jeffree Star did any music, to be quite honest. But then I don't watch anything to do with Jeffree Star, really, so why would I know?
Can't avoid recently, but getting a lot of...
That's true.
I'm not going to lie, those lyrics put off some very rapey vibes. It's very scary.
I mean, you know, allegedly, possibly, maybe. Which is the name of the new podcast. Love to get that in.
Well played.
Allegedly, possibly, maybe. That is a bit rapey. Let's be honest.
A bit rapey. Okay, final one. The second wave is coming, so goodbye to all the pubs. If I can't get Sambuca, then there's no chance of subs.
I don't even know. Is that you?
It is me. It is, and it isn't. It is me, but it's from my actual song, so please don't slag it off. I was thinking, I've done such an awful thing. He's going to destroy me now, and I'm going to have to edit this out. Oh, no.
At least it's topical, I'll give it that, because I was thinking, like, who's done a song mid-COVID like that?
Oh, God, my knees are awful in that song, but I'm happy I wrote it. I was really struggling with that because I can't play musical instruments to save my life. But props to anyone that can. I mean, my dream before I die one day, I want to learn to play the piano, because either that or an acoustic guitar, because it's so beautiful. Piano more than anything, because it's just more elegance, isn't it?
Piano. If I was going to say to learn anything, I'd definitely encourage you to learn piano, especially for music writing as well. Good. Very good. Difficult, but very good.
It took me an hour of editing before I thought, oh God, this is horrible. And at the end, I actually went to sleep at 2 o'clock. But me and my girlfriend are currently working our way through Shameless. So.
Well, there you
she
go.
was watching that at the same time. So maybe that's what, but I'm sure that you're going to enjoy those lyrics when you have a listen to it.
I'm sure I certainly will, and I'll reminisce about the.
Please
the
don't
game.
judge the video too harshly. Please don't do that. Because it's my first attempt at real, recording. The song, I wrote the song. I can't take the credit for playing the music. Props to Fiverr, because that's what it's there for. So,
fair enough.
Well played, that guy. He didn't give me his information to actually give him a shout out, but he's a talented guy as well, so he can hear that. So well done you, mate. Incredible. But no, I only noticed something earlier, by the way. When I emailed you, I thought I need to make this seem a little more professional. So what I did put in the subject, I put podcast episode. Did you read the subject of my email to you?
Yeah, I think. I'll just double check that it's the actual email.
Look what I did. Look what I did. And I only realised later, and it's just immature. Look closely.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a very mature thing to do, just for all the viewers. I wrote podcast episodes. So.
Yeah, podcast.
But, no, but does I can't thank you enough for your time, mate. I really appreciate it. It honestly means the world to me that I've got
It's been an absolute
someone
pleasure.
I'm
My pleasure
subscribed to as
entirely.
my first guest. So thank
Mm.
you so much. And I'll be contacting you about that T-shirt, by the way. But
I don't doubt it.
you've all about those lyrics, then. No, but you've got your first subscriber already to that channel the moment it comes out, because I'm excited for it, and I hope everyone else is, because I'm a fan of both your works. So it's I'm looking forward to it. So all the best for that.
Thank you.
But as I say, I can't say any more. Thank you so much for your time, mate. I really appreciate it. And
No
thank
problems
you
at
for
all.
listening, guys. Much appreciated.